Hi, I'm Madonna Guy, and you're watching the Natural Alternative Podcast. Welcome. I'm honoured to have Dr. William Bay here with me today. Welcome, William.
Thanks, Madonna. Thanks for having me on again.
So I'm sure anyone listening knows what you've been through the last few days. So how are you feeling a few days into your suspension?
Yes, that's right. I am now a suspended medical practitioner due to the, in my opinion, illegal application of the powers that APRA thinks they have. They think they have the power to get in the way between the patient and the doctor, and they think they have the power to try and stop me from working ethically in the best interests of my patients according to the code of conduct. They instead wanted me to follow the public health messaging, the greater good. They wanted me to follow the instructions of the government. I would not do that. And for that, they have punished me. They have suspended my registration. They have cancelled my employment with all my workplaces. But I'm feeling good about that because when you do good, you feel good. And if they want to act like bullies and in an illegal way, that's up to them. Yes. I did my best for my patients and according to the rules that I followed at medical school. So their actions are on them, nothing to do with me. I stand by what I've done. I continue to stand by what I have been doing and will do in the future, which includes more political protest with the Queensland People's Protest, including tomorrow, 1 p.m. at King George Square in Brisbane. And I will continue to keep fighting this, in my opinion, illegal suspension of my medical registration until I run out of any options.
Yes. Now, you have mentioned in a couple of your videos about the rule that's being voted on in Queensland coming up soon.
Yep.
So can you talk a little about that? Because this is really scary.
Yeah, I'd love to. So I was actually just, watching a bit live from the Senate in Australia, actually, where Malcolm Roberts is pressing this issue at the moment. So this is the Health Practitioner Regulation National Law Amendment Bill that is before the Queensland Parliament at the moment. This law applies to all Australians because once this law is passed in Queensland, it will automatically apply in every state and territory in Australia because it's part of the national scheme. Yeah, interesting, isn't it?
It's part of the Chinese Communist Party scheme.
Sorry, well, it's part of a scheme that they've been working on since 2008, actually. So They have been working hard and long on this scheme, and it literally calls a scheme, the national scheme, to take away the patient as the primary focus of care and attention in the doctor-patient relationship to the greater good. It cannot get us simpler than this. It is out there for everybody to see now. This is what they've been working on for more than a decade, and this is not a conspiracy theory. The law is before the Queensland Parliament as we speak, and the explanatory notes to this bill, Madonna, clearly state that they have been working on this for many years, and they are fully intending to make the greater good, the public health messaging, confidence in the public health system, the focus of healthcare.
That is phenomenal. So anyone who thinks they're going to the doctors to have their own health checked for themselves, that's a thing of the past.
Not anymore. Well,
that's
exactly what they've done to me this week.
Sorry.
No, you go. That's all right. That's all right.
That'll obviously take a little while to filter through because so many doctors, they're decent, good human beings who really are trying to work for the good of their... So how's this going to filter through to the doctors?
Well, it's already here, isn't it? You're looking at a former doctor, a suspended doctor, who has been suspended based on that idea. So it's already here. That, in my opinion, they've just jumped the gun. They couldn't wait to get rid of me. So they've prosecuted me under the assumption that this law will get in. But no, APRA, you have gone too far. You've gone too quick. That law is not in yet.
Yes.
I have been prosecuted under the existing rules, and the existing rules are that still doctors need to work in the best interest of patients. So they're acting like the law's already passed, and I can probably understand why, because even in the explanatory notes to the bill, it says that we will pass this law. There will be no stopping this law. It's just completely presented as a done deal. It's all out in the open, and yet most of the public is still asleep. That's why I hope that my sacrifice, my loss of my professional position will hopefully wake some doctors and a lot of the public up, because if we don't stand up for doctors like me, we are going to lose our role as patients in everything.
Yes, absolutely. So let me just, and do we know whether this is coming from United Nations or World Health Organization or the World Economic Forum? Do we know where this directive is actually coming from? Because surely our Aussie politicians haven't just thought it up.
Well, as I mentioned, they've been literally working on it since 2008. They even admit that again in the explanatory notes to the bill. So I don't know exactly where all the roots came from, but they've been working on this scheme, this literal scheme, for 14 years.
Wow. Okay. So let's get to a couple of the questions. So I threw it out there and I said, any questions? So one was, is AHPRA sufficiently qualified to assess what's right and wrong with the COVID narrative?